Hey gang, Drex here from DrexFactor.com. Split time opposites flowers were the last type of flower that I learned how to do, and they were definitely the hardest. Today, I'm going to share with you my top 3 tips for mastering these type of flowers, because they look really cool. Before we dive in, I just want to take a moment to give a shout out to the friends of the channel. Big thanks to Dark Monk, Emazing Lights, Flow Toys, Spinballs, and Ultrapoi for helping to make the videos on this channel possible. You can visit them all on the web by following the links down in the description of this video. Despite how difficult they are and how long they took me to learn, I still have to say that split time opposite flowers are probably my favorite type of poi flower by a wide margin. The symmetry and visual balance of them is so perfect, and they can be done in wall playing without looking super awkward. But how to learn them, and more importantly, how to polish them. Tip number 1, practice split time opposites. Part of what makes these flowers a challenge to learn is that it's not common for people to be familiar with the patterns that your hands have to move in for them. Together same is pretty obvious. Together opposite is too. Split time same direction is about like doing the crawl stroke or the backstroke. But unless you've played around with double Dutch jump roping, it's not likely that you've encountered this pattern with your hands before. There's a great trick I picked up from Alien John for teaching your hands how to do this pattern. Clap them together to the right side of your body, and then snap your fingers as your right hand goes up top and your left hand goes down, separating top and bottom. Now, clap your hands together over to the left hand side of your body and switch which hand is on top. It should now be your left, right? Now you're going to snap your fingers once again with your left hand up top and your right hand down below and clap them together over to your right hand side. Switch which hand is on top so that it's your right, and go through this whole pattern again. Snap, clap, snap, clap, snap, clap, snap, clap. It can really help to do this up against a wall so that you can get a feel for doing it in wall plane, and you're not reaching too far away from your body as you do it. The best thing you can do for yourself is to get this pattern as comfortably in your body as possible. Tip number 2, use linear isolations. I've seen a lot of different methods for teaching these flowers over the years, but without a doubt, the best method I've seen is to use linear isolations. Don't worry about the jargon right now. Focus instead on what they actually are. To demonstrate them, I'm going to start with my right hand over to the left-hand side of my body, with my poi spinning clockwise relative to me. You see how there's a spot where the poi crosses my center line? When that happens, I'm going to let the poi head drop into a stall on my center line and pass my hand directly above it, going over to the right-hand side of my body. Over here, I'm going to pull the poi out spinning clockwise once again. So that's a drop through moving left to right. Going back over to the other side, I'm going to pop the poi head up my center line and let my hand sneak underneath it back over to the left. So the full pattern I'm going for here is drop and pop, drop and pop. When that gets to feel comfortable, try letting your hand go up as the poi goes up and down as the poi drops. If you can do this much, you're actually doing a 4-petal anti-spin flower already. So now you want to learn the same pattern with your left hand going clockwise. Start with the left hand crossed over to the right hand side of your body and drop it down your center line and then pop it up your center line. Drop down, pop up, and again start dropping your hand and popping your hand with the poi head, going up and down, up and down. So now that you can do it with both hands, start with both of your hands off to the right-hand side of your body and spin the poi in split opposites relative to each other. This is a really important detail. Make sure that the poi attached to the native hand, that is your right hand, is between your arms in a buzzsaw plane. From here, pop your hands apart across your center line and bring them back together over to the other side of your body. Think that there is almost like an explosion between your hands that sends them hurtling over to the other side of your body, only to come back together there. Take a moment at either side to find your timing again. Maybe count 1, 2, 3 beats to each side, thinking 1, 2, 3 beats and apart, 1, 2, 3 beats and apart. And as this gets to feel more comfortable, work your way down to 2 beats, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then 1. And then just go straight back and forth, thinking apart, together, apart, together, apart, together, apart, together. Each time you move your hands apart, try and think that the poi you're trying to pop up and down with them. If you've got this, you've got the flower. Tip number 3, watch the center. I've been doing split opposites flowers for nearly 10 years, and even then, I didn't realize until last year that I was doing something wrong as I performed them. As I go back and forth, I have a tendency to have my hands travel across the center line of my body at different times. This, in and of itself, isn't the end of the world, but when you look at the trails that the poi leaves, you'll see that the top and bottom petals just don't line up. It's a small thing, but being able to nail small moments like this really make your style look clean and polished. I discovered as I was doing this that the culprit was my top hand was always just a little bit slower coming out of each side than my bottom hand was. So I started practicing speeding up my top hand, and as you can see, it results in a much cleaner flower. One way you can practice this is if you have access to a mirror. Take a dry erase marker and draw a vertical line down the length of the mirror. Now, as you perform your split opposite flower, try to make sure that both of your hands are crossing that line at exactly the same time. Cool, I hope this helped out some of you. Split opposites flowers can be challenging to learn, but look unbelievably cool. Let me see your version of these by posting to Instagram with the hashtag DrexFactorPoi. The poi I used in this video are from Flow Toys. If you'd like to grab a pair, you can help out the channel by using the code DrexFactor with a 0 instead of an O at checkout. It gets you a discount and it helps out the channel. Everybody wins. If you got anything out of this video, please hit that like and subscribe button to help my channel grow. Special thanks to all of my awesome supporters on Patreon. You guys are the ones that make these videos possible. If you're not a current backer and would like to sign up to support the work that I do, please go to patreon.com/DrexFactorPoi. Thanks in advance, and peace.